Welcome. This is What You're Reading, Coach. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am ecstatic about today's episode. The reason why I'm so ecstatic about today's episode is because I have a gift for y'all. The book. We're going to go into chapter 2 of the 7 spiritual laws of success. But before we get started with that, make sure that you're following us on Instagram at Jewels and Tools Podcast and also at Coach Kel Inspires. Also make sure that you're subscribe, like, and turn on your notifications for the Coach Kel channel on YouTube. All you have to do is search Coach Kel, or you can search Jewels and Tools Podcast, or you can search What You're Reading, Coach, and they'll all pop up. This episode is, I'm so proud. So give you a little bit of history on me. From Jacksonville. I have a very great family. Good family. And for a very long time, I think 10 years. I thought it was 10, she was 12. She was 1, yeah. All right, so for maybe like the first 10 or 11 years, it was only me and one other individuals as kids in our family. She is my sister cousin. We're cousins, but we have always, especially when we were younger, interacted like brother and sister. She has released. Are y'all ready for it? Are y'all ready? Spirit spoke. That's my cousin, y'all. Like, I ain't talking about like all the way down the line. This is my first cousin. We lived with each other growing up, on and off. She has always been a person that I have looked up to just because of the way that she carries herself. And she released the book, I think last month. I got my copy in the mail last week. But I've actually been sitting on it because I didn't even want to call her or text her or let her know that I had received the book. This is how she's gonna learn that I received the book. Her name is Randy Janae Norman, or Randy J. Norman, excuse me if I gave away your J. She is my Janae. I don't call her Randy as much as all, because I got a daddy named Randy, her daddy named Randy. Got too many Randys. So she's always been Janae, or my Nene. And I'm so proud of the book. I read it all in one day. It's not a big huge read, but it's a purposeful read. The book is awesome. I didn't even know. I think I knew that she wrote poetry, when we were younger. I didn't know that this had become a passion of hers. And then reading the book, because when she said she was releasing a book, I was just like, "Cuz, releasing a book?" And then when I saw when she released the cover, and I had her first ones, I saw that it was spirit spoken. So I figured that it was, something around spoken word or poetry. But it's so well put together. I love it. I like it a lot. But the book in itself, she is a very she's like a walking, breathing success story. I know most of her. I can't say that I know most of her testimony, but I think I could say that I'm familiar with her testimonies, and just to see how she has just blossomed into this creative force, it's awing. I'm just like, when I see some of the stuff that she's doing. Growing up, I think that creatively, kids have to go through a process of trying to find their voice, and what it is a maturing process. And when you're trying to find that creative voice, I think she did an excellent job of providing the spoken word for creating that creative voice and creating the outlet for your creative voice. But what she does, which I think is remarkable, that I haven't seen done too much, because when it comes to poetry, I'm a big poetry fan, but I have never seen anyone do this. For each poem that she wrote, she actually paired with it like a backstory, which kind of puts you in the mind frame and prepares you for what you're about to read. And it was just reading the book, I was just like, yo, like, she did this. And like I said, it's not a huge read, but I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I hope I don't get cuzzo, don't sue me. All right, you know I ain't got it. Don't call them people on me. But I do want to read what I think right now, my favorite right now. I'm gonna read a little bit of my favorite right now, and then I'll make sure I give you guys the information, where to go purchase and support the book. Okay, gotta do that for me. Gotta support. I'm just so proud of her. You know what I'm saying? And my proud is one thing, but looking at the quality of her work is another. I really like. And when it comes to poetry was my first love when it came to reading, because it was short enough and compressed enough to where I would want to read it. So that was like my first exposure to reading, was like poetry, and most definitely was my first experience to actually writing. At one point in my life, I thought I would be a poet, or I would be like spoken word. Like that was like a dream that I had in the back of my head, you know. But Def Poetry Jam had everybody thinking like that, and I used to listen to a lot of Erykah Badu. So, you know, and there's a couple of ladies out there that know I can, you know, do my thing with the pen, but not on this level. Like, okay, I'm just gonna get into it. I'm starting to go off on a tangent. So, this is called A Diamond in the Rough, a spoken word. I usually don't read out loud to people, so this is all new for me. So, in solitude, the night is quiet. I sit and remember how I used to enjoy the solitude and quiet of the night. This is what this is really about, huh? Getting back to those things I used to do. The things that spoke to my heart and mind. The things that rounded me out. Made me fluctuated and multidimensional. the diamond in the rough. In the rough, lost. Not knowing you are a diamond. In your natural state, at its purest and most valuable. Ready to be polished. Ready to be polished and fine-tuned. Becoming what you are while acknowledging what you won't ever be. I gotta hit you with that one again. Becoming what you are while acknowledging what you won't ever be. Ordinary, diamond, special, unique. It's a process. Don't hate it. Don't judge it. Don't overthink it. Just do and be and allow the old unnecessary layers to be sloughed off. Who are you? You gotta stop it right there. I can't give you no more of that. I can't give you no more of that. But if you like that, make sure you go to Randy, randyjnorman.com. Alright? Make sure you do that. randyjnorman.com. And that's Randy with an I. Her daddy is with a Y. And my daddy is with a Y. So it's Randy, RANDI, jnorman.com. And I'm checking it just to make sure. I don't want to be lying to y'all. And yep, it is randyjnorman.com. So it's RANDIJNORMAN.com. And that's where you can actually pick up your copy. Do yourself a favor. Pick it up. If you have like teenage kids, this is a book that they need to read. This is something that they need to read, because while reading the book, it was almost like a time machine for me. Because while reading the book, with some of the things that she wrote, especially with the backstories, with me having an intimate look at her life, I can see that I really think that a lot of this book, the seed was planted during those years, like her teenage years. And because us being us, I think fear takes control a lot of the times, and just life. I think the seed for this was planted then. And so I think this is the fruit of that seed that was planted then. So I really think that this is going to be a great book for teenagers and young adults. So once again, Spirit Spoken, Spoken Word Journey of Faith, by Randy J. Norman. She's the author, and she's also my cousin. This was a great book. Make sure that you get it. Once again, randyjnorman.com. So